And welcome to Emerald Meadows, your one-stop channel for all things RC, quilting, and 3D printing. Today we're going to be talking about quadcopters, and there's so many conversations about quadcopters. And today we're going to be talking about indoor flying. This time of year we fly indoors, our club flies indoors, fairly good-sized gym. But these quads here, this is the NAS 32 build. This has been flying, and I'm just adding on some strip lights. I'm adding on the monitor. What else am I adding on? No, I think that's it. Just the strip lights and the monitor, so I'm working on this. But these things are not safe to fly indoors, okay? These are like blenders without any guards on them. So inappropriate to fly these indoors. They're way too dangerous. Setting this over to the side. That's why we have these small quadcopters. These are 150 size, very guards on them. If you do get hit with them, I'm sure it would sting, but it ain't going to lose an arm or an eye with them. So the two we're going to be talking about today is, these are both from Hobby King, but they're available from other sources. This is the Q222. It's from called Spacecraft. WL Toys, I think, makes them. And we're going to talk about this. The reason I purchased this is for the altitude hold feature, and it comes with a Wi-Fi camera, but I want to swap that out and put in my 5.8 gigahertz camera, so I can practice my FPV on the indoors. And the other quad we're going to talk about is the Nova Core, which is, why did I get this? Something my grandkids can fly when we fly outdoors, and I'm not concerned that it gets lost or damaged because it was inexpensive, but also just for practicing. The one thing about when you get older, we have to maintain our muscle memory. So that's why I always like to fly indoors in the winter, both light aircraft and the quadcopters, because we can forget and the muscle memory, how to use those controls as you get older, gets a bit more difficult. This craft is the SEMA, the Nova Core. I call this a SEMA clone. Excellent flyer, highly recommended. The price on this is, you can't beat it, and it does everything that the SEMA does, and it's a little bit cheaper. And of course, I was going for price. The Q222 I purchased for. You say, well, why would you buy the same thing? No, this is different. It's about twice the price, but it has a feature. It has altitude hold. And if you're flying any FPV and you're trying to get your goggles on, your quad's drifted and it's out of control, or it's crashed down on the ground, or it's hit the ceiling. So I needed something that would be stable enough so that I could put my goggles on. Even if you have someone spotting for you, they can't put their goggles on, and you're not going to be using a buddy box with these cheap radios. And these are pretty small. You can get hurt with them, but in a large space, and if it's far enough away, it's pretty safe. You can't be a nanny state for everything, and these are pretty safe indoor flyers. So what we're going to do is, this is really phenomenal. I'm going to show you how this thing flies with its altitude hold, and I'm going to recommend this for people to buy, because if you like the fun of flying, and you just need to have that sometimes hoverability, especially if you have these great cameras on. I'll be honest with you, these are moving all the time, but with this altitude, take some great shots. So this is good, fun, and this is better, and we're really increasing these inexpensive quads. They're adding features and features all the time to make them a little bit better, and this is definitely an upgrade. The Q222, the bare bones unit from Hobby King, for the price, I would definitely get it. So let's take a look at this thing hovering. Okay, let's get started looking at the altitude hold. The manual is not readable. So in order to make this altitude to work, you have to push in on the right stick, and you'll get a bit of a click, and that's where you'll get your altitude hold. The manual is absolutely garbage, but if you buy from China, I'm not telling you anything new. Altitude hold, and she is rock solid. I can tell you, she moves left, right, rotate around, a bit of glitches, but you know what? For the price, you cannot beat that feature. And if you're flying FPV indoors, definitely get this because it is worth just to have this ability so you can actually control your plane, look at your different controls, and do the job you want. Just remember, when you turn off the altitude hold, and if you have your throttle down too low, she'll do a quick drop, so be careful. And you notice that the light on the back, when solid, when she's in altitude hold. Solid light, altitude hold. Flashing light, non-altitude hold. Anyway, definitely if you're thinking of getting a quad for indoor flying and for fun, this Q22 is really the one to buy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short little video on indoor quad flying. There's so many out there. You can pick them up in most stores. I always like to buy them from either Hobby King or from a reputable hobby store. A couple of reasons is that the generic ones are pretty good. This would be what you would get at most of the stores. It comes with a camera and the standard flyabout, and for fun, for a few minutes of flying time, definitely the way to go. But for solid indoor flying, where you're going to be doing it, replacing the battery, flying again, replacing the battery, flying again, for some durability, and for that altitude hold, worth the price of admission, I'll put the links down below so you can go take a look at these yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please say like, and if you like more of these types of videos, please subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Bye-bye.